So one day I told the ESE teacher, I said, man, I really look forward to trying to help them get into college to play football. And she literally looked me right in the eyes and said, Schwalbeck, they can't do it. They don't have the academic ability to do it, and they're gonna end up being in prison or dead. At that point, I was going to prove that lady wrong. Because I remember, because you were missing a math credit, and we had to get you that because then you could qualify for your scholarship.
Yeah.
So I remember when you were playing Pop Warner, so there were all these other high school kids, and you were like that young guy that was trying to come up to be those guys. And I would always tell the guys who were older than you, look, you got guys under you looking up to you. So like the Marcel and the guys, and it's like, look, you guys make the right choices, they're gonna make the right choices. If you make the wrong choices, they're gonna make the wrong choices. If I can get people to own a house, have a job, be a great family man, you know, that's what it's all about. Because I'm just a school teacher. And the sad part I saw was my dad was an alcoholic and left me, but then other kids that I went to high school with, they got caught selling crack and they're in prison. So a lot of the kids that your age that I was mentoring, their dads went to high school with me and they're in prison. My father abandoned us when I was 3 years old. He was supposed to pick me up from daycare and my mom from work, and he took the car. We never heard from him again. So I spent the entire first 12 of my years of my life not having a father in my life, not knowing who he was, and the only time we heard from him was he got arrested and was calling for bail. Because we were poor, we moved all the time. When I was in second grade, my mom went to work at Edgewood Boys Ranch, and I actually had to live at the Boys Ranch with other people that weren't my family. From then on, my schooling was terrible. I got in trouble all the time. In seventh grade, I got self-contained classes for kids that were emotionally handicapped. And I remember asking the teacher, why did you put me in here with the crazy kids? She looked right in my eyes and says, if you act crazy, people are gonna think you're crazy. So I learned early on that my choices had direct outcomes to my situation. Whether they were positive or negative was irrelevant. I just had to make choices that gave me the outcomes that I wanted. The first time I realized I really wanted to help other kids was I did an internship when I was at the community college, and I volunteered and I was helping a fourth grade kid, and I realized that kid and I connected, and his story of not having a father was just like my story not having a father, and I could see in his eyes, he was like, well, if you could do it, I can do it. So my whole goal from that point on was to coach, mentor, and change lives. I forgot when you said the Schwal Blacks, and everybody used to go, you guys should have a reality show. I'm like, I ain't gonna have a reality show because people are gonna watch it. We'd be the most famous. We would have been the most famous YouTube channel ever. I'm like, there is no way. Yeah, that ain't the kind of famous I want. I don't want the crazy famous.
We said a whole lot of bad things.
I'm like, he goes, how'd it go? I go, well, I've laid in traffic a few times.
Yeah, but now we're gonna sit down and I wanna just thank you for everything that you've done for me and my kids and my family, because you changed my life dramatically, man.
Oh, shut up! I told you I had a bowl.
And man, like without you, we probably wouldn't be here in this moment right now if it wasn't for you personally. You, Eric, he had a minor part, but you was a main key to keep us together. Taking Kimaya and me in and Leroy at the same time with Tyson, and it just was just a blessing for me.
Our little brother.
And
our big brother now.
Like Kimaya, she loved you to death. The other kids, they never got to stay with you, but they love you the same as Kimaya. And like I probably end up I don't know where if it wasn't for you giving us the love that we needed at that time.
Yep.
Well, you guys are my heart, and I had so much fun, and I still continue to have fun with you guys, making memories.
Still making memories.
I'm going to dinner. I love you.
Oh, all right, man. Love you too, man.
Something that I haven't said to Rod and Leroy, I think that they know I'm just a walking hug factor, kiss factor, love factor. I mean, they know that, right? But I don't know if they know how proud I am of them, because I know that they, and their family, they had a lot of obstacles to overcome. And I know that it must have been really hard. So I want them to know that I am so proud, and and the man that Rod is and the father he is, he's doing it all right. And Leroy is getting his CDL license and studying for that. When he lived with us, I mean, it was pulling his dreadlocks, his hair, to get him to sit at the kitchen table and do homework with me, and now he's flourishing and doing so much with his job.
All right, Coach, you remember the one time, I can't remember where the camp was at. I can't remember where this camp, it's probably the furthest that we had been for a football camp. It's me, Roman, Luke, a couple other guys, and just doing that, going to the camp, performing at the camp, not having to pay anything for the camp. It's like, man, we live in lavish. This is just when, starting the journey. We're seeking offers. This is when all this stuff is going on. This is where we're trying to go big, and just being out there and, not having to worry about anything. Looking back at it then, it's like, man, we living a life.
Yeah.
We're living a life. Fast forward to now, and to see you still doing the same thing, and it's big in the sense of serving, but the simple fact of getting a meal after the camp is normal. It's normal now, and it's funny too because those same things and the same camps that you was taking us to, if you were to see me on a Saturday morning and open up my back car doors, you're gonna see some other kids in the back.
Back, brother.
You're gonna see the
Don't
same
pay it
kids in
forward.
the back.
I know, exactly, man.
appreciate you,
Exactly. So what I would do is I would take the kids that didn't make the team, that were the at-risk kids, and I would take them to get them on AAU teams. And we loaded up the Suburban, and there's probably 11 guys in there that were packed in. They were all ninth graders. Matter of fact, one of the kids that made that trip is in the NFL right now, went to University of Florida. And unfortunately, one of the guys that was on that trip actually is in prison. So the same weekend that Marcel went to go play in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, Lukey got arrested. So that was a big trip. It was the younger guys got to see the older guys immediately get scholarship offers. So they knew, hey, if these guys are getting scholarship offers, I have to do what they're doing, because it showed them this is what you can do with your life. And college is a big thing to change kids' lives, right? If you have a college degree, you can go do something. And I used to tell them, even if all you do is become a school teacher like me, you can buy and flip houses and do side hustle stuff and have all the money you need to take care of your family. But if you can get a degree and college football can keep you out of trouble, that's what's gonna help you get out of the neighborhood that you're in. So I could stand here and tell you about all the success stories. We'd run out of film, 3 in the NBA, 1 in the NFL, hundreds have gone off to play college. But those aren't the kids that keep me awake at night, right? The ones that keep me awake at night are the ones that have died or the ones that are in prison. I have 5 that I communicate with still that are in prison for murder. All of them committed murder before they were 18. One of them committed it when they were 20. And I knew these kids well. And it was the choices that they made that I look back and I go, man, could I have helped them make a different choice? The ones that are dead, knock on wood, every one of them, I feel my faith has shown me that they're in heaven. So there's not a doubt in the world, whether it's Dexter talking in a camp and film, talking about, hey, get your grades right, do all of these things, but put God first. And then he says, without God, there has nothing. And I get chill bumps thinking about it, because I know that Dexter's like he's there.
That's the most important thing. You keep God first and just work, continue to work, because without God, you can't do nothing.
I want to talk to the kid out there that was just like me. Abandoned, poor, adverse childhood experiences, those don't define you. I want you to realize that if you make the right choices, you can grow up and have the life of your dreams with a beautiful wife, beautiful family, kids that love you unconditionally, and you can provide for them the things that you never had, that you always want your own kids to have. And I think that's why I'm so proud of Rod, Leroy, Garrett, Naquan, and all the other kids that have grown up and been great fathers, and they're the fathers to their kids that I never had. And if there's one piece of advice I can give to you is make good choices. No matter how hard things are, keep making good choices, make good decisions, and you can have unconditional love with a family that loves you and you love them back.